This is Carmen, and welcome to this Reiki Answer Lady video. So today I wanted to share some of my thoughts on working with Reiki and people who are suffering from depression or anxiety. So like other videos, I've broken this agenda up into a few different sections. So of course, special considerations, hand positions, and then we'll talk about how to wrap up the session. So some special considerations. Here is how I work with my clients. When they come into me, the first thing that we do is we go over my client intake form together. So on that form, I have some questions for them, and those questions sort of outline the areas in my practice that I have specializations. So for instance, I ask if I can use crystals or aromatherapy, if I can do shamanic work, if I can use a light hands-on touch, if I can play music, and so on and so forth. And so those are my specialties. I also have a disclaimer, and my disclaimer on my client intake form is that I am not a medical professional. I am not a licensed clinical therapist, and I am not a medical doctor. So I do not diagnose or of course, I cannot prescribe any medications. But this is important for myself and my client to talk about up front. In particular, if my client is coming in and telling me that they are already suffering, that they have been suffering for a while from depression and anxiety, then, we will talk about whether or not they're going to see other types of therapists. There's lots of different types of therapy out there. And I feel like one of my roles as a Reiki practitioner is also to be able to network in my area. Now I'm new to California, and so I'm still creating my network, but in Wisconsin, I had been there for a while and I had a really extensive network. And so if somebody was coming into my space and they were suffering from depression and anxiety, and they didn't already have a licensed medical therapist, then, we could talk about some referrals in the area. So, again, my point is just that it's important for your clients to know what to expect from your session. And if you are not a licensed medical therapist, then you really shouldn't be practicing that type of therapy. Now, of course, our clients are going to share sensitive information about what they're going through. And as a compassionate listener, I can hold them in a space of safety and non-judgment and nurturing and just listen, right? And again, we have, as our client practitioner relationship, we've clearly set the boundaries for what can be expected in our session. And then one of the other roles for a practitioner is just to create a safe, nurturing space to hold your client in wholeness for their Reiki session. So hand positions. Hand positions are super important for lots of reasons. But in the case of working with clients who are suffering from depression and anxiety, the number one reason to use hand positions is the limbic area of the brain. So the limbic area of our brain processes touch as an emotion. And so if you are using a nice, gentle, hands-on, nurturing touch, even at just the opening of your session, it instantly connects with your client's brain and your client's heart and lets them know that they're being held in a space of safety and nurturing. Holding some key areas of our body. So as a practitioner, the chakra systems and the meridian systems and the tree of life spheres are not part of the original Reiki teachings, but as practitioners, it is of value for ourselves and our clients to learn about these extra energy centers and systems that are in our body. Holding these spaces, so any of the joint spaces, we hold our emotions in those joint spaces. So holding those can help release any energies that are no longer serving your highest and greatest good, right? We can emphasize that gentle, nurturing touch. Now, sometimes with my clients who are suffering from depression and anxiety, then touch can be kind of sensitive, right? Why are they suffering as they are? As part of your client intake process, get to know their story, and so you can use extra sensitivity and be extra gentle and nurturing. And then work with your client where they are. I've certainly had clients who just needed a safe place to lie down and relax and just be. And I've had folks want to bring in a special blanket or a special pillow or, any of those sorts of things that bring comfort to your client. Allow for those opportunities for them to be held, again, in wholeness in your space. So, of course, going back to the first slide where I said your special consideration, to keep in mind what your role is in the space, that's going to play heavily in the healing story. When I share details with my clients who are suffering from depression and anxiety, I'm particularly sensitive to the fact that, again, I'm not a licensed medical therapist. I am a Reiki practitioner and I am a shamanic practitioner, however. So there's lots of things that we can talk about, but I'm super sensitive to the nature of depression and anxiety. Help your clients schedule, if they have expressed an interest in coming back to see you, then help your clients schedule that next session. Sometimes when we're depressed, it's not easy to make decisions. It's not easy to make plans. So help them out. You don't want to necessarily create extra stress in their lives. And so if they haven't expressed a direct interest in coming back to see you, then don't push them. But if they have, then help them put that schedule on the calendar. It helps, I think, in that planning for them to take that off of their shoulders. So again, use your tools, have your calendar there, be ready to schedule a next session. There's lots of technology that can be used to help facilitate the ease of scheduling sessions with your clients. And this is going to be helpful in particular with clients who are suffering from depression and anxiety. Bottom line, our role as Reiki practitioners is to hold our clients in a space of wholeness with non-judgment, channeling the nurturing Reiki energy for them to help uplift them and reconnect them to their inherent ability to be part of the healing process. So I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and share this video with your colleagues and your clients. I would really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, head on over to ReikiAnswerLady.com. You'll find my free podcast and my blog. So you can subscribe to my newsletter there and you won't miss any of my updates. I look forward to our continued community building together. Many, many blessings. Namaste. Aho.